Welcome once again to Let's Talk Marriage. This is Pastor Larry coming to you this Wednesday afternoon with Let's Talk Marriage. All right. We're going to be moving right on into our program today. Our program on today is Disagreements in a Marriage. Before I continue, I hope everyone is doing well. If you woke up this morning, you are doing well. All right. Disagreements in a marriage. All right. Now, you have two people that, most of the times are a little different. They get married, they become one. You are not going to agree on everything. So there's going to be times where there's disagreements in a marriage, how far you take it and how far you handle it or what you do. During those times of disagreement can make or break a marriage. You don't want to have a marriage where you constantly arguing. You should not have a marriage where you constantly arguing, fussing, fighting, and bickering. You're doing this around the children. You're doing this in public. That should not. You get loud. People calling the police. Neighbors knocking on the doors. Say, can you hold it down? And people are looking with concern. Your children are learning that you're teaching your children that that's what goes on in a marriage, and it should not. You're making your marriage hard because you're constantly disagreeing. There's nothing wrong with disagreement. They happen in a marriage, but how you handle those disagreements, sometimes it can stem from your childhood hurts. You could be bringing baggage in from when you were a child or from another relationship. That's why we talked about on this program many a times you have to close chapters in your life before you walk down the aisle. Those chapters and those things should always be closed. And if you're having a lot of difficulties in your marriage, there's nothing wrong with seeking marriage counseling or talking to a marriage counselor or a family counselor or even a pastor that that's been married for many years. They can tell you because they have wisdom built up on the inside of them. So make sure you speak with someone especially if you want to save your marriage, because when you walk down the aisle and said, I do, marriage is for life. So we have to make sure that we learn to agree to disagree, because they're going to come up in a marriage, and we don't want things to escalate. And there's three things that I always mention and mentioned once before in the program. When you're having a discussion or a talk with your spouse, the things that you want to do is, first of all, is listen. Listen. You should always listen, because sometimes your spouse might just want to vent because you're really supposed to be their best friend. You have outside best friends, but your spouse should be your best friend, someone that you can easily talk with. And sometimes you just want to vent about something that could have happened at work or something during the day. And my wife shared a post with me that said how a man treats you when he's mad says everything, or how a man treats you when he's angry says everything. Because sometimes when you first of all, before you walk down the aisle, you should know how that person is when they're angry. If their demeanor change, if they act different toward you when they're angry, if they start throwing things, and because once you get married and you find out that once he get mad, he start throwing things around the house, putting holes in walls. That gets to be expensive. You tearing up stuff around the house, and you don't want you find out that you married a woman that when she gets mad, she start throwing things and breaking stuff around the house. That can be expensive as well. So you want to make sure that you know these things you should know everything about it. That's why you should not run off and just marry somebody just because you feel like that's the right one, or you feel like they look good, and you marry them just because you think they fine, or whatever you want to call it, and not knowing that person is not your soulmate. Because sometimes when you meet your soulmate, most of the time you're not going to even know it, and then sometimes you will know it. but you will know eventually that that's your soulmate. The other thing that I mentioned too is understand. When you're in a discussion, make sure you're very understanding. And a thing about understanding, the truth comes in with that. And a lot of people, you hear people say, the truth hurt. The truth should not hurt. Let me repeat that. People constantly say, I don't know where they got that phrase from. The truth does not hurt. But what I can tell you is people use the truth to hurt other people. You can't, if truth is the truth, it's not going to hurt you. Just like when you take, listen, for an example, if you take medicine for something that's ailing you, you take medicine, it's good for you, but it's not going to harm you. It might not taste good, but it won't hurt you. And that's the same thing with the truth. It might not feel good, but it's not going to hurt you. And some people use it, especially people in the ministry, they tend to take the truth and, say all should be. No, the truth should not hurt you. The truth is there to help you. And when you're helping someone, how you help someone and hurt them at the same time? That's not helping them. So when you're in an argument, a part that comes under understanding is just because you have the truth does not mean it's time to always speak the truth. One thing about the truth is all in your timing. Because you can say something that's truthful, but if it's not in the right time or is it not the right time and place to say it, it's not going to benefit anyone. It's going to hurt someone. For instance, if you're in the elevator with 3 people on the elevator, and you get on the elevator, you say, it stink on here. Somebody stink on here. You know what? That can be very hurtful. It might have been the truth, but it was not the right time or the right place to say something like that, make a statement like that. So you can't always say that the truth hurt, because it does not hurt. The truth help, it does not hurt. Let me repeat that. The truth is there to help, not hurt. So you can't use the truth, always say you're speaking the truth to hurt someone. The truth is not there, again, not to hurt you, but it's there to help you. And another thing I always say, think before you speak. That's so much said in just a few words. Think before you speak. That's where the truth comes in again. Think. Because sometimes you want to just say something just because it's on the top. You want to get back at someone, and they might have covered some points that, that kind of touch your feelings. And so you want to get back at them. So you want to just speak out and just say something or bring up something. That's why another thing, you have to let things go from the past, because if you don't let things go from the past, you're going to start bringing them up again in your next discussion or argument or disagreement. You're going to start bringing up things from the past. And it might have been true from the past, but it's not the time to bring those things up from the past, or something that might have happened in the marriage that one party got hurt. And they forgave, you forgave each other and you move on. You can't move on if you keep bringing that up. It might have been the truth what happened, but it's not the right time to bring that up. So we have to make sure that we think, and we have to understand too that our wives are there as helpmates. They're there to help us. And another thing my wife shared with me or I saw on the shared with me from the Marriage Club, is this statement here. And it's a very powerful statement. Married men, if you want to go far in life, love your wife. Take good care of her and make her happy daily. Her prayers will open doors for you, and favor will follow you wherever you go. I agree with that. I totally agree with that. Because if you treat your wife right, she's going to constantly pray for you. Even in the marriages where, you got married and one party might have got converted, later, or became a Christian later, or started going to church later, and the husband, is decided he don't want to go right now. He's not, into it right now. That wife is praying for you constantly, praying for you daily. And why do you think sometimes when you have those wives that go to church, and even though you don't go to church, good things always happen in your life? You're getting these good jobs. You in your business is booming. And every time you turn around, you're getting blessed with something. It's because your wives are praying for you. So just find a way to attend church with them. Not even if you don't go all the time, just go sometime with them, and that lift their spirits and make them feel so much better. So we have to make sure that we are doing these things with our spouse and supporting them in their endeavors and things in life, and standing by them. And because there's nothing wrong with, we might say there's something about a strong-minded woman, a strong-minded man, or a strong-minded woman. There's nothing wrong with having a strong-minded woman, because you don't want to have a woman that does everything you say. You want one that have their own opinions. So there's nothing wrong with that. I like the statement again, so I'm going to repeat it one more time. Married men, fellows, brothers, if you want to go far in life, love your wife. Take good care of her and make her happy daily. Her prayers will open doors, which is so true. I know there's been many days my wife prayed, and doors will open in our marriage, and things happen in our marriage, and just good things will happen. You'll find favor with the Lord. Her prayers will open doors for you, and favor will follow you wherever you go. This is Pastor Larry. I'm going to be signing off. Make sure that we realize that our wives are there to support us. So there's nothing wrong with just sitting there listening. So the next time you and your wife have a discussion, make sure you listen to her first before you say anything. And before you respond, make sure you think. And remember, the truth does not hurt, but it helps. This is Pastor Larry. I'm going to be signing off until we meet again with Let's Talk Marriage. All right. Now remember, all the music that you hear on this program is from an app called Whoop Triggers Plus. It's available on the Apple platform as well as the Android platform. This is Pastor Larry. Until we meet again, let's talk marriage. All right, all right, all right, all right.